ECG 6 months after implantation of a leadless pacemaker. GPT-01 Overview. I'm not a medical professional, but I can provide a general overview of what this ECG may indicate based on common ECG patterns. If this ECG is from 6 months after the placement of an Aveir VR leadless pacemaker, some points to consider include pacemaker spikes. Typically, in a paced rhythm, you'll notice small vertical lines or spikes on the ECG, indicating pacemaker activity. Look for regular, consistent pacemaker spikes before each QRS complex, which would suggest the pacemaker is functioning appropriately. Regularity of the QRS complexes. In pacemaker-dependent rhythms, you'd expect the QRS complexes to appear at regular intervals, corresponding with the pacing rate set by the device. If the pacing spikes are regular but the QRS complexes are not, it could indicate intermittent failure to capture. QRS morphology. Pacemaker rhythms often show wider QRS complexes, especially in ventricular pacing, as the ventricles are activated directly rather than through the heart's usual conduction pathway. Pacing functionality. For an Aveir VR pacemaker, checking for appropriate rate response and rhythm control 6 months post-implantation is important. If the ECG shows consistent pacing with no abnormalities in the heart rate or rhythm, it would generally suggest good device performance. However, this is only a preliminary interpretation. I recommend sharing this ECG with a cardiologist or electrophysiologist for a detailed assessment, especially given the specific context of a pacemaker implant. They can assess device function and ensure there are no complications or signs of malfunction.